What's up, Dream Team? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with some more Aussie content. Dirty-ish Aussie slang words that confuse me as an American. I can't wait to jump into this. We're back with Miss Caitlin Amanda. Love her videos. Before we dive in, however, if you happen to enjoy the video, please don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. I know a lot of Aussie slang. I've watched so much Australian content. I feel like I'm an Aussie citizen. I could be. I feel like I could be honorary Aussie. I could be. So let's see if I know these words or if I'm gonna learn something new today.
G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Caitlin. I'm an American writer living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. And there are some dirty Aussie words that really do confuse Americans. Some of them might not even be that dirty here in Australia, but in the States, oh boy. These can be dirty, filthy, sexy, offensive. The list goes on, so let's dive into some dirty Aussie words that confused this American the first time I heard them. Grab a bicky, grab a cuppa, and let's get right into this video.
Let's do it.
Number one, and I'm not afraid to say the word, but I am going to have to censor it for YouTube because it doesn't like it.
Yeah, YouTube be tripping with that. I'm glad she's gonna censor it, but yeah, YouTube be tripping. And Australia, that's not even a mean word in Australia. That's more of a greeting. Can it be used to be rude or mean? Yes, you can use it in that form or fashion, but that's more of a greeting. From what I've seen in Aussie content, you call everybody this. I'm not gonna say it either because I don't want YouTube to trip on this video, but yeah, not even that mean. Here in America, it's different. Yeah, if you're using it here in America, you probably trying to be rude, trying to be mean, trying to degrade, I guess.
Number one is the C word. In the States, it is probably the most offensive thing that you can call a woman. And in all fairness, it's pretty offensive here in Australia too when you use it in that context. But other than the insult and the female body part, that word typically isn't used in the States. Here in Australia, while people don't go saying it every other word, it is a lot more common here, and it's typically in conjunction with some sort of descriptor, whether you're a mad C word, a funny C word, a sick C word. Those are all actually compliments. But if somebody is just flat out calling you a straight up C word, that's clearly an insult. You kind of have to take the word in context to how it's being used and the situation that it's being used in. If you're fighting with somebody and they drop the C word, chances are it's not going to be a compliment. But when I first came over here, I was surprised to hear people actually use it and use it in multiple different contexts. Number two is root, which is...
we know what root mean. We know what root mean. You smashing. You're doing the dirty. You're doing the deed. You're getting together, body on body. I don't need to explain it to you guys. You guys already know what it means. Yeah, but that's what it means, right? Yeah.
Very different compared to the States. Here in Australia, they are not going to root for the home team like you hear in that old school song, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." No, root here is a very crude, kind of bogan way of saying fuck. Like the crude actual action of fucking, not just fuck this, fuck that.
How she didn't say the C word, but didn't, since YouTube let you slide with this? YouTube, when I react to videos, they use the F word. YouTube usually catch me, and they usually like, we not letting that slide. Sometimes they do, but I feel like more times than not, if it's used repeatedly, they're like, we not letting this slide. Limited monetization, limited ads.
That. So when you talk about Aussies rooting or having a root, they are not talking about cheering, they're talking about sex. So if they're good at it, they might actually be cheering afterwards. Number three is rubber, and to Aussie...
Rubber is like, that's what y'all call an eraser, right? We know what rubber is in America. But that's what y'all call an eraser.
Because this is completely innocent to Americans, it is not. Rubber in the States, besides material, means condom. So when you're in Australia and there are little kids asking for a rubber, clearly that's not what they're talking about. A rubber in Australia is an eraser. So something that is completely innocent to Aussies confuses the hell out of Americans the first time they hear it, especially because it could be coming out of a little kid's mouth. Number four is pash, and I heard this...
Pash, that's a make-out. I'm telling y'all, I got Aussie content down to art. I think I learned this one on Love Island, Australia, when they kept talking about passion. That's like making out, right? Make out session, tongue kissing, something along those lines.
Few times before I actually understood what it meant. Pash is just to make out, but the
I
reason
got
it's
it.
pash is like it's passionately making out, so shortening it to pash. I swear Aussie slang is just on another level. So if anybody's pashing, having a pash, it just means that they're making out kind of intense. Number 5, and this one gets Americans in trouble
Fanny.
all over the world, not just
We know, where did I learn Fanny? From Love Island, UK, when they started talking about the fanny flutters. When they started, I was like, oh, in America we like got a fanny pack, but and then fanny we think of butt in America. That's what we think when we say fanny. We like butt, but no, it means something different over there. It means in the front, down there. I ain't gonna go into detail because y'all know what it is.
just in Australia is Fanny, which is also an unfortunate nickname for any woman named Francine. But Fanny in Australia and the UK and I think a few other countries is actually a woman's vagina. So when a woman in the States is wearing a fanny pack, in Australia and other countries it's actually called a bum bag. You do not want to call it a fanny pack over here. You are going to get laughed at so much. Number 6 is Randy.
Ooh, this one might be new. I don't know. Ooh. I may have heard it before, forgot it, or never heard it, but I don't know what. You gotta talk to me about this.
So, if your name is Randy, I feel so bad for you if you come to Australia. Randy is a word that people will use to describe being aroused or turn on. You're getting randy. You're feeling randy.
Really?
So you can see why if somebody is named Randy and they come over here to visit, Aussies are probably going to pick on them. So I feel so bad if anybody's named Randy.
Yeah, Australia, that one different. That's just, I'm getting randy. I'm getting, that tequila be getting me too randy. That I don't like that one. Usually I feel like I like Aussie slang, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. I want to use that, like Tracky Dax. Love that. But Randy, it don't feel right. Something about it, I'm not connecting with that one.
And they decide to visit anywhere outside of the U.S. Because in the U.S., that word is just a name.
A name,
and number 7 is crack on.
Love that.
Aussies probably know it.
Crack on, like, know what I'm saying? It's kind of like flirt, like, go for it, like, yeah, we're cracking on. We're good vibes between us. We flirting. We having a good time. That's kind of I can't, for lack of better terms. That's the only way I can describe it. Yeah, crack on.
What that means to Americans, it goes way over our heads. Crack on is something I'd heard a few times until I actually had it explained to me at some point. I thought cracking on was like, okay, maybe having a joke or making fun of somebody a little bit, which so makes sense because of how Aussies do crack on, which is flirting. Aussies are notorious for having that slightly dry, sarcastic sense of humor, of taking the piss out of each other, of making fun of each other. So to my American ears, it does make sense that crack on would come across as picking on somebody, teasing somebody, joking with somebody, when in Australian, crack on actually means to flirt. So if you're out at the pub with somebody and some guy comes up to your friend and starts cracking on to them, they're not necessarily joking with them, although they probably are because they're trying to flirt with them. Number 8 is pissed.
Drunk. Wasted. You're pissed. Now you're not upset, as we say in America. You're not angry. You're not mad. No, you're drunk.
Typically in the States, pissed just means you're angry. Normally, like, you're really angry if you're pissed or you're pissed off. In Australia, pissed also means you're drunk. So if somebody in the pub is pissed, there's a small chance they could be angry. But most likely people mean that they're saying that they're drunk. Which is also why people say, like, I'm getting on the piss this weekend. Basically means I'm planning on drinking a lot this weekend.
Love that.
And number 9, I feel like you guys already knew that.
We already know thongs. What we would call flip-flops. Yeah, thongs. They're not, I guess here we would call it, thongs are underwear. Very sexy underwear. Whereas in Australia, they just the flip-flops.
This one was going to make the list, and that is thongs. Yes, it confuses so many Americans when they hear Aussies talking about needing to grab a pair of thongs. Because in the States, we all know that thongs are called flip-flops, and thongs in the States are typically what you call G-strings here in Australia. and G-strings in the States are also G-strings in Australia. Which, when you think about it, given the structure of an actual thong, it does make sense because that little bit does go between your toes to keep everything together. It makes sense to call them thongs, but to Americans, it is going to take a little while to get used to hearing and eventually saying thongs. It's taken me well over 2 years. I can say it with no problem. I don't bat an eye with it. But when I'm talking to American friends and family back home, I try to make sure that I say flip-flops. So that's it for this video, you guys. A few kind of dirty-ish Aussie sayings and phrases that confused this American the first time I heard them. So are there any that you thought should have made this list, or any that you think I don't know? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support. I would love to get this channel to 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can only do that with your help. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. I so greatly appreciate the support, you guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.
I feel like I'm
G'day, guys.
I feel like I'm just so proud that I got most of them right. There was only one slang word that I didn't know. So I feel like proud of myself. Honorary Australian citizenship still intact. Y'all let me know in the comment section, is there other words that y'all think that I might not know? That's what I'm interested. Do y'all think there's words that I don't know that y'all have? I'll be willing to try to answer them, do my best, see if I can't get them, or make a YouTube video where I guess if there's enough words mentioned in the comment section, make a YouTube video where I try to guess and then look them up, see if I'm right or wrong. But that's all we have for this one. If you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next video. It's your boy Neal, out.